The future of Thailand's opposition Move Forward party hangs in the balance. The Constitutional Court set to decide tomorrow whether to dissolve the party over a campaign promise to amend a controversial royal defamation law. CNA's Success Sambat looks at how we got here and what could happen.
It was a triumphant moment for Move Forward. The young opposition party, in existence for all of 4 years, unexpectedly won the most seats in the 2023 general elections, beating out more established rivals. Its leader, 43-year-old Pita Limcharoenrat, was set to lead Thailand.
The people of Thailand have already spoken their wish, and I am ready to be the Prime Minister for all, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me.
But it was not to be. A joint parliament vote denied Pita the premiership and Move Forward the right to form the government. Instead, second-ranked Pheu Thai took over the reins, assembled a coalition with its former adversaries, and named property mogul Srettha Thavisin as Thailand's 30th prime minister. Move Forward was shafted to the opposition benches again. And now, a year later, in the same room where they announced their victory, their future looks even grimmer. They could very well cease to exist as they face down the threat of dissolution. All that stems from the party's election campaign promise to amend Thailand's controversial Lèse Majesté law, which criminalizes threats and insults to the monarchy with up to 15 years in prison per offense. The Constitutional Court found Move Forward's attempt to reform the law to be tantamount to high treason, a threat to the constitutional monarchy. And it could not only dissolve last year's election winner, but also ban Pita and party executives from politics for a whole decade, even if the party hadn't sent a single draft bill on this topic to parliament. It wouldn't be the first time a Thai party has been disbanded by a court. Since Thailand became a constitutional monarchy in 1932, a total of 33 political parties have been banned, a majority of them in the past 30 years. And many of them are being seen by the public as contentious and controversial. But party bans have also proven to be ineffective, as we've seen here from a few examples in recent history. In 2007, following a military coup against then Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, his Thai Rak Thai party has been found guilty of electoral fraud, and his executives have been banned from political office for 5 years. But the remaining politicians, they moved over to a new party, the People's Power Party. A year later, the exact same thing happened, though. They were also found guilty of electoral fraud, and dozens of politicians were also banned from office for 5 years. Third time's lucky, perhaps, because the Pheu Thai party, which is the third incarnation, they are now leading the current government coalition, and many politicians from the Thai Rak Thai era, they are now back in the fold. We could be seeing a similar story here with Move Forward as well. In 2020, the Liberal Progressive Future Forward party has been found guilty of violating campaign finance laws, and their politicians have been banned from office for 10 years. The remaining MPs, they moved over to Move Forward. And if Move Forward is being banned, then their MPs have 60 days time to find a new political party, or what's most likely to happen, as we have seen from historic precedent, they would just move over to a new party that has been quietly set up in the background, and it's business as usual. Large-scale rallies that protested the dissolution of Future Forward unfolded into weeks of street protests aiming at far-reaching political reforms, targeting, among other things, Thailand's sacrosanct monarchy and an end of the Lèse Majesté law. But they didn't get very far. Over 260 activists have been charged with contravening the very same law that Move Forward was seeking to reform, and they are facing long prison sentences. The party's fate is on the line, and Pita himself is facing political banishment for a decade. And yet, there is a sense of stubborn defiance from him.
We will continue doing politics the way that we have done. And if we win this time and they reject us, going forward, we'll win even more to the point that they cannot reject us anymore. We are going to be the undisputed leader in democratic Thailand. But politics is a long game. And in a long game, it requires patience and strategy, which we have both. So eventually, we'll be able to win to the point that we are not denied anymore.
There is no guarantee that Move Forward or a potential successor will win the next election. But the constant push of the progressive reformist agenda by this camp remains a challenge to the status quo of Thailand's political landscape. The only question is whether someone new will pick up the baton to lead them even further forward. Success Sambat, CNA Bangkok.